You chin up, but the sun starts to blind you. I'm feeling awkward around groups. You throwing your makeup, forgot your clown shoes when life doesn't pay up. You feel like it owes you your next big break. For heaven's sake, save a plate for divine fruits. I'm all the hype.
I'm Astral, Housefly.
We don't have a name together. We just kind of stick to our...
We're individuals.
Yeah.
We're probably independent or like indie rap with a tinge of conscientiousness to it.
Yeah, we've been experimenting a lot, so I guess experimental hip-hop.
Avant-garde hip-hop, almost.
Something.
Avant-garde hip-hop light.
Light? Yeah.
Diet.
Logic I've never gotten. Mac Miller, yeah, I mean, just strictly off, like, people see me and they're like, you know who you look like? I'm like, yeah, I do. But, people have compared my music to Mac Miller, which part of me is like, I hear it all the time and I want to be me, so I'm just kind of like, that's cool, like, but I love Mac's music, so, like, it's hard, I can't possibly be offended by it, you know, so, yeah, I get it all the time.
When I was 6, I had a choice between an Xbox and like a Casio light-up keyboard. And the keys would like light up so you could learn how to play like songs. And I wound up getting a Casio and taught myself how to play some basic piano songs like Green Sleeves and For Elise or whatever. And noodled with that, and then ever since then I went into guitar. I was a rock kid, so I didn't even listen to much hip-hop besides like Eminem when I was younger, and then I made a beat kind of as a joke, and I was like, this is kind of fun actually, and then this dude hit me up and I wanted to be a producer.
I started writing, I probably wrote my first rap in like 5th grade. I didn't actually release any music till I was about 20. But like through high school, I was always like, would be hanging out with a group of people and they'd be like, oh, he can rap, Zach can rap. And like people would make me rap at like parties and so like any like social gatherings. And then, yeah, eventually I just like got the courage to like, you know what, I'm gonna like put something out there. So started releasing music when I was like 20, but I've been making it like my whole life basically. I don't know if I have like a core message. I like to push individuality and self-awareness, and I don't know. I feel like I can be kind of negative sometimes in my writing, but it's just because it's not always positive. There's not always going to be some positive message to push. Like sometimes I'm just trying to get some stuff off my chest, and and to feel comfortable in that, I think is really empowering. So I guess that's kind of another message I like to push, is just to be comfortable within yourself and not necessarily be vulnerable, but being able to accept who you are and not follow guidelines that have been set. I feel like we definitely like draw inspiration from each other. There's times where one of us isn't necessarily feeling it that day, or most of the time it's him trying to pull things out of me and get me to portray what I'm doing. But other art inspires me a lot. I try not to copy it, but listening to something and being like, and just knowing that there's like these different possibilities is really inspiring, and people who are trailblazing different things.
Pretty much like you see the artist that does that completely different thing you've never seen before, and if they do it right and it's not just weird, like, that's exciting, I think.
We were working at Verizon, and then one day he went past my car, and I had this little mini keyboard sitting in the back seat of my car, and he was like, "Do you make music?" I'm like, I tried. I mainly like rap and stuff, and then even then we didn't like get together and make music or anything. We kind of just you were like out of that store shortly after, so. And then one day he posted like a beat tape, a project, an album that he did, and I just hit him up, and I'm like, and I liked it, and I was like, dude, let's get together and do something. And then yeah, we kind of just haven't really stopped since. That was 3 years ago.
4.
Probably coming up.
Oh no, it was 4 years.
4 years ago. Yeah, so 4 years, and yeah, it was just kind of, I mean, we went to school together. We graduated together. I didn't know him until we were about.
I actually didn't like him in school.
I guess I pissed him off one time. I don't remember it.
Freshman year, we had some exchange, and it wasn't going to be a fight, but if it escalated anymore, it could have been a fight.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember, but he didn't like me. But yeah, we didn't really know each other till like 21. I'm pretty sure we were on the same baseball team growing up too at one point.
I used to make fun of the rappers in our town. This what started like the beat interest, because I was like, oh, let's make like a parody rap group, and we did, and I just used like, I think that old keyboard and just looped stuff on Audacity and made fun of rappers, and then now look at me.
I mean, it's always different. I mean, sometimes he's like, I sit down, he goes, I made this earlier today, and I feel like you might like it. And then sometimes I'm like, I already have something written, and and then we just kind of complete it from there. You know, and sometimes I'm like, you know, we get back to it like at another time. And then I feel like most of the time I come here, we sit down, and then we just start creating from scratch. That one was partially kind of like a reintroduction, and because I made a project and just released it on SoundCloud when I was 20, and then this was 6 years later, so I felt like I kind of had to not only reintroduce myself, but that project is basically about like feeling like I'm running out of time, and I waited so long to just dive into music. So it was kind of like making up for time was kind of the thing I was trying to get across there.
It's not every time that I like I'm gonna make a beat for a rapper on top of it. It's just kind of noodling, and sometimes it turns into something. Sometimes it's just another sketch that maybe we look at months later and we're like, oh, you know, there's something there we didn't see before. But yeah, the process is always different. And I kind of even like, I'm like, man, we have so many songs that are just sitting here like, is this bad? Like, are we just bad at releasing? Which we are to a degree, but you look at some of the like interviews with other artists, and they're like, yeah, we had these 5 projects that we kind of sat there for 2 years, and then we finally decided to use them. Like, it is kind of common, and it's almost good to just not listen to it after you make it for a while, just so that you don't get sick of it. Like, we've had songs where for a whole year just listening to it over and over again, it becomes less fun. But right now we are doing a totally different thing where we know there's a hole in this EP we're making, and we're like, oh, we probably need like a slow ethereal song. So like sometimes we'll put some framework in and say, okay, we need to make this type of song for this album, but almost every time it's easier when it just happens organically. But I guess when you're trying to make something that's like a concept album, you need to be a little bit more thoughtful about the placement and pacing and everything.
The complete package.
COVID just kind of put a stick in our spokes. We had like a good amount of momentum, and then like I wasn't having people over to the studio last year around this time because like it was just sketchy. I didn't want to get anyone sick, like, and it still sucks. Like, we still have to worry about it, and especially right now. But we definitely finally are starting to grab onto a little bit of momentum that we had before COVID, because we were playing shows, we were having people actually come to them. Now everyone's afraid to go to shows, and I totally understand why. So yeah, it's been just like even tough doing live stuff, but yeah, no, it's almost been good because now we do have a big body of work, and we've learned a lot of things not to do going forward, and yeah.
I'm big on like not overworking and treating this necessarily like a job, because then you just lose, like, you have to live life to reflect on life. You know what I mean? I don't want to be a rapper rapping about rapping. You know, it's just like, you can sit there and be like, oh, I write 3 songs a day, and it's like, about what? You're rapping about work, okay? Like, some people are all about the grind. And they like to work, they like to listen to podcasts about working, they like to listen, their music is, you know, like, let's grind, and that's fine. Like, but like, it's not me. I like to talk about my experience. Project almost done and on the way. We have singles on the way. We're we're gonna have a lot of stuff soon. Definitely feeling good this year.
I'm the light in the cage that could never fly away. I'm the mic in the stage, I'm the hype inside my name, giving pipe like a crane, giving life to the game. Let me find some kind of way to find a light inside your pain. 40 nights, 40 days, 40 ounces to the brain. 6 days and 6 nights, and this the world that God made. So if I say I try to pray, I would pay to make it make sense. Cause the country's got these kids in a cage and not a place.